Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus A330 pilot, and in today's video let's have a look at the new iniBuilds A320neo and its non-precision approach capabilities. We are currently on a downwind for an RNAV approach Zulu for runway 07 at Palermo Airport, which you can see somewhere down there. Quite a scenic approach, and it would really be worth using terrain display on that one. Unfortunately, that's not simulated at the moment, but we are going to make the best out of it. Here's a look at the Navigraph chart for this particular approach. As you can see, Ixosi is above 5,000 feet, and from there we're going to descend 2,300 feet, max 185 knots over at Bipso, as we just got over here, and then later on we are going to fly the approach. Let's go ahead and start our descent now, going down 2,300, and then we can also switch local QNH, which is a very important thing to do on any non-precision approach, and in Airbus aircraft in particular. Now, let's have a quick look into what we actually got in the approach down here. So, we're starting from Ixosi towards Bipso, and then we're going to proceed to Charlie Juliet 511. That's the final approach fix, which we've got over here, 2,300 feet altitude. And after that we are going to fly a 3-degree descent path down to the minimums at Charlie Juliet 511, which is 880 feet. And that is what we've got in here. So that's the entire approach that we have in here. Also, having a quick look at our approach page, we've entered QNH, temperature and the winds, and we've prepared for a config 3 approach with a minimum at 880. We're going to fly this approach using the approach mode, so we're going to use final approach mode for our actual arrival into Palermo. Alright, so that is pretty much our preparation that we've done for this particular flight. So now let's have a look at how the aircraft is actually going to proceed, and if and how the approach mode is going to work. Slight overshoot over here at Ixosi, but we are getting back onto it. Also notice up here that we have quite a bit of tailwind coming up on the approach. I did a little test pattern prior to the start of this recording, and in that test traffic pattern it turned out that we've got a rather large wind shift just above the ground, making this one particularly interesting. Alright though, that much for the theory of this particular arrival. Now let's have a look at how that looks when it's being put in practice. We are pretty much done with all our preparations. The approach checklist has already been completed. All that remains to be done is aircraft configuration. Now in terms of aircraft configuration, I'll let it do everything automatically because we want to test how well the VNAV code is going to perform. And we've just got alt star, speed is going back to 185 knots. There should have been a magenta circle on the flight plan route for any deceleration segment that the airplane had planned. However, looks like it's doing it like that as well. Note the 185 knot restriction over Bipso, and we're currently doing 250, so we are well too fast at this point. But I'll just let it go and see how the airplane is going to perform. Overall, we got like a 3 nautical mile level segment here, so we can lose quite a bit of speed during that as well, even though right now we are obviously speeding. Okay, approach mode is armed, approach nav is captured, final is in blue, flaps 1. Okay, the VDEV pointer is already indicated. That's a good sign that this one is actually going to work, but let's see how that's going to turn out. VDEV is coming alive over there. Speed is reducing nicely. Okay, final approach is captured, and we'll go flaps 2. Missed approach altitude 3,000 feet is set. Alright, then let's have a look at how this is gonna turn out. 2,300 feet at Charlie Juliet 511. We are pretty much abeam that right now. It's starting the descent. Okay, gear down. I'm configuring a little bit earlier because of the tailwind component that we have. Okay, the drag of the gear is coming, speed is going down. Flaps 3. Spoilers, lights, and let's just advise the cabin. And that's it. Alright, cool. So let's see if we've got any distance to altitude checks. So distance to Charlie Juliet 512, 1.8 now. Let's see, 1 mile prior, or 1.5, we should be in 1340. So that's now 1.5, 1340, so it's flying a good profile down here. Still with a 10 knot tailwind. That's going to shift just prior to the landing. At least if the forecast is going to remain true, we will see about that. Runway is definitely in sight. We're on the puppy. And reaching the stable gate, our speed is now looking good as well. A little bit of tailwind still, but there it goes. Tailwind is gone.
Minimum.
Okay, continue. Now 50 foot below the minimums, we should get an amber message on the FMA saying disconnect autopilot for landing. Looks like we are not getting that though. That message has been added after the Turkish Airlines attempted an autoland out of final approach, which obviously didn't work out. I'm sure many of you have seen that one already. Alright, cool, so let's disconnect. And then we're going to take it down for a manual landing.
400.
It's a non-precision approach, so we might have to help it a little bit to get back onto the center line. Normally, I've flown this particular approach with the 737 a lot of times in the real world, and it brought you down perfectly on center line, but sometimes it went onto 3 wides, or sometimes even 4 wides on the approach, depending on temperature. Alright, 10 knots of headwind we have now.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
Well, we came a little bit low there, but it was all within limits, even though it certainly didn't feel like it. Anyway, we got spoilers reverse green and decel. Note the FMA over here, which went back in a final and approach enough. Shouldn't have done that. But apart from that, the autopilot flew the approach rather well. So in terms of flight simulator aircraft and what this one can or can't do, I have to say I'm really happy with the way how the airplane flew the approach. Accurate tracking, the distance to altitude check we carried out was spot on as well. So overall, I have to say that apart from the speed constraint that got missed of the 185 where it went a lot faster, apart from that, the approach has been flown to a good degree of accuracy and there is not a lot to complain about. So that's gonna be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I do hope you liked it. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. If you did like the video, be sure to like it in YouTube as well, as it does help with the algorithms. And if you're up for more, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, that's me signing off. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you all again on the next one.